Hi, I want to welcome you to Pine Tribe Author Interviews. I'm Philip Trampe, and this is Alexander Kjerulf, Chief Happiness Officer of Woohoo Inc.
You've been practicing, I can tell.
A little bit too much. Just want to make sure I got it. And also the author of Pine Tribe's Happy Hour is 9 to 5, How to Love Your Job, Love Your Life, and Kick Butt at Work. So exclusively you work with happiness at work.
That is what I do.
Yeah, and what I think is really interesting is that you got into this career, yet you started as a software engineer?
That's very true. That's very true.
How did that transition naturally? Like, how do you go from software engineer to chief happiness officer?
Yeah, there's a story to that. First of all, happiness at work has always been a personal value of mine. I basically refuse to do work that I don't enjoy. So I went into IT because I absolutely love programming and coding. And I was a software developer for a number of years, and eventually I co-founded an IT company in Copenhagen, a software development consultancy. And when we started this company, our number one goal was to make it a happy workplace. Sure, we wanted to make money. Sure, we wanted to create, do good code. But more than anything else, we wanted to be happy at work and create a great workplace. And we ran that company for about five years. And at that point, we sold the company. And I didn't want to work for the company that bought us. They had like 13,000 employees. I was like, not going to them. So I quit, and I asked myself, what is my true passion in life? What do I want to do? What's my mission, basically? And I realized that creating software is awesome, but happiness at work is my true passion. So in 2003, middle of 2003, I founded my current company, which called, very correctly called, Woohoo! Not Woohoo. The company's called Woohoo!
Gotta keep that energy up.
Yeah. When people call us, that's awesome. Woohoo! It's Alex.
People bring that level up immediately, on the phone.
Yeah, and basically started doing presentations and workshops for clients around Denmark and around the world. And I think this is now 11 years ago, and I think what's been so heartening, so nice is just to see how more and more companies are starting to get this. And I'm starting to realize that, yes, we need to create a happy workplace. We need people to actually like their jobs rather than hate their jobs.
Because as you say, happy employees are just more efficient and just better employees in general as well.
And happy companies make more money. It really is that simple, because we know that happy employees are more innovative, more creative, more productive, more effective. They create, happy customers create happy employees create happy customers.
Yeah.
On pretty much every single business metric you can imagine, you have an advantage if your staff actually like their jobs. Plus, on top of that, there's the whole happy companies make more money, but it's also, in my opinion, it's also a question of right and wrong. And creating a workplace where people hate to work, where the culture is toxic, a workplace that is slowly wearing people down, that is just wrong. That is just ethically and morally a bad thing. I don't really want to use the word evil, but it kind of is. And we shouldn't do that. That would just be wrong.
And it's interesting that you're throwing out all these basically facts that are logical, step-by-step, saying this will lead to this, happy employees, happy customers, more profit. Yet people still aren't really taking advantage of it.
It's not exactly rocket science. Arbejde in Danish means work. Glæde in Danish means happiness, gladness. So arbejdsglæde just means work happiness. Now here's the fun thing. This word exists only in the Scandinavian languages. Danish, Swedish, and Norwegian are very similar. And we are the only languages on the planet that have a word for loving your job. And this is not a coincidence. Okay, this is not a coincidence, because this word does not exist in English, does not exist in any of the South African languages, they don't have it in French, this word does not exist in German, they certainly don't have it in German. And this is not a coincidence. In Scandinavia, for the last 50 years, we have focused on creating happy workplaces. There definitely is a cultural bias in the Scandinavian countries, okay? Liking your job in Scandinavia is perfectly normal. In fact, it's accepted, it's expected. I mean, as a Scandinavian, if you get a job, you fully expect it to be a good job. You know, a task you like to do, a good manager, nice coworkers, a good atmosphere, nice culture in the workplace. If you don't have that, if you don't actually like your job, there is something wrong. And this is not really the case in the rest of the world. I think this is a point worth making, is that happiness at work is not a trivial matter. It's not just fun and games. It's not just about enjoying, having an easy, comfortable time at work. This is actually about one of your major, one of the most important life decisions you're going to make is, what is your career going to mean to you? Is it going to be, I'm going to save and retire. I'm going to show up this job I hate every day. And hope I just get a raise and a promotion and get a bigger and bigger paycheck, so I can retire maybe a year sooner. Or is it going to be the other way around? We're saying, I want work I like. I want work to mean something. I want work to be fulfilling and fun and something that gives me energy and something that I actually look forward to most mornings. This is one of the most fundamental life decisions anyone can make. And what I'm trying to get more people to do is make the decision to say, I want to be happy at work.
The two important things that make us happy at work, it's not about the salary. It's not about the perks. I mean, that should, you should get the salary you're worth. You should get a fair salary, absolutely. If you deserve a bonus, you should get it. But the two things that really make us happy at work are results and relationships. Results is when you're good at what you do. You make a difference at something that is meaningful to you. You kick ass at work. And you can go home on a Friday afternoon and be proud of the work you've done this week. That's getting results. And relationships is about liking the people you work with. I like my coworkers. They like me. We have a great time together. Results and relationships are the two things that really, really make us happy at work. And that's where your focus should be. If you're looking for a new job, don't pick the one that has the highest salary. Pick the one that will give you results and relationships. If you're the manager and you're trying to make your department, your company happy, focus on results and relationships, because that is what works. If you're trying to build a really great career, focus on results and relationships.
But I want to get back to the point where you said, like, you went into a restaurant, you said, like, everybody here hates their job. Is there, because you've been doing this for so many years, is there, can you just walk into a workplace and just look at somebody and just see, like, that guy hates his job? Or look over to this guy, are there any, like, telltale signs that these people, like, the people that are watching might not even know that they themselves are exhibiting, where it's like, wow.
And you may not be able to tell it from just looking at one person, but sometimes you can tell it just from walking around the workplace and sort of feeling the energy, the vibe in the place. I do think that it's, one of the things you got to remember is that people are different. Okay, people are really different, and one person, when that person is happy, you can just tell, and and other people, you can be sitting at their desks very quietly, doing their jobs, not saying a thing, and absolutely loving it, okay? So you can't actually tell from looking at people whether or not they're, that individual person, whether or not they're happy. I do think that probably a good way to see if this is a happy workplace is to watch a meeting. And just watch how people talk to each other. And are people, and it's not that everybody has to get along and agree. There can be plenty of conflict in happy workplaces, but in happy workplaces you have this, people acknowledge each other. There's a lot of support. There's very little sarcasm or or putting people down. And I think that is definitely, I've seen some ugly meetings where it's all just about furthering your own agenda and seeing if you can knock everybody else down a peg or two.
So does that mean also, like, in those meetings, that the fear of speaking up is gone as well?
Yes. And that's what you see in bad workplaces. You see a lot of fear. People are afraid to speak up. They're, if I disagree with the boss, will I lose my job? If I annoy that guy, will he come back at me later? If I, and fear has some proven negative effects on our minds. There's some very interesting neurological studies that look at what fear does to your mind. And it basically, and fear can be awesome. I mean, in some cases, fear is exactly the right response because it lets you focus on one thing.
It's a drive, right?
Exactly. What's that threat? What do I need to do now? Which is fantastic in some situations, but in the workplace,
maybe not.
Not so
much.
much.
But you think it also cut down creativity, because if the one guy in the corner has the solution to the problem, but he's afraid to speak up because of what Mr. nameplate on the door has a problem with.
And this is one of the true dilemmas is that a lot of workplaces by this culture of fear, they demand innovation from employees.
Yeah.
They want people to do better and better and come up with new ideas, but they also punish mistakes severely.
Yeah.
And this means that you're putting people in a really tough situation because if you do new things, you're going to fail occasionally. So actually, I think it needs to be the other way around. I actually think you need to celebrate failure and mistakes, because mistakes is just a sign that people are trying new things.
So we're running low on time. I want to thank Alexander for coming in and talking to us today.
My pleasure.
If you want to learn more about Alexander, learn more about his book, Happy Hour is 9 to 5.
I hear good things.
Please check our website, www.pinetribe.com. There you can get access to Alexander's author page as well as his personal blog, positivesharing.com. There you can also see a collection of quizzes, including is it time to quit your job? Which is
always a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a tough answer to face at times, but once in a while it's good to think about it if it's actually hurting your health.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining. Please subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about Scandinavian lifestyle, and thank you very much.
My pleasure.